Hari Hari
Jaya Radha Madhava
Om Agyana Timirandhya Dhyananjana Shalakaya Chukshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manonishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadam Tikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Okay. What is the text today?
35.
35.
Which canto?
So it is Canto 8. It is chapter 12. Thank you. And text chapter is about Mahini Murti bewilders Lord Shiva. And so text 35 according to Vairabha Prabhu. So 8, 12, 35. Whenever everybody is ready and found, we can read Sanskrit. Skane rita shiso pasyad atmanam deva mayaya jadi kritam nripa shishtha sanya vartata kashmalat. Someone wants to repeat? Skane.
Kaneretasi supashyad.
Skaneretasi supasya
Atmanam devamayaya.
Atmanam devamayaya
Jadi kritam niripasreshtha.
Jadi kritam nipashrestha
Sanya vartata kashmarat.
Sanya vartata kashmalat.
Skaneretasi supasya
Niritasi sopasya.
Atmanam devamayaya
Atmanam deva mayaya.
Jadi kritam nipashrestha
Jadi kritam lipashishta.
Sanya vartata kashmala
Sanya vartata kashmalat. Ça va? You ça va? Okay. Skane, word by word we do or no? I don't remember. Yes, okay.
3 times the verse.
And then
We
word by
repeat all
word.
together. No, you repeat 3 times. You recite 3 times, you repeat. Then everyone repeats if they like. And then word by word, and then
Okay. Skane,
Skane.
when fully discharged.
When fully
When fully
discharged
discharged.
Retashi,
Retasi
the semen.
the
Semen.
semen
Saha,
Saha
Lord Shiva.
Lord
Lord
Shiva
Shiva.
Apashyat,
Apashyat
so,
So
Atmanam,
Atmanam
his own self.
his own
His own
self
self.
Deva Mayaya,
Deva Mayaya.
by the Maya of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
to the
By
Maya
of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Jadikritam
Jadi Kritam
had become victimized as a fool.
had
Had
become
become
victimized
victimized
as a fool.
Nripashrestha,
Nipashrestha
O best of kings,
O best of kings
Maharaja Parikshit.
Maharaj Parikshit.
Sanya Vartata
Sanya Vartata
restrained himself further.
restrained himself further.
Kashmalat
Kashmalat
from illusion.
from illusion.
Translation. You didn't do it yesterday, this verse?
No, it was 34.
Okay.
It's connected.
O Maharaja Parikshit, best of kings, when Lord Shiva had fully discharged semen, he could see how he himself had been victimized by the illusion created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, he restrained himself from any further maya. Purport of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada. Once one is agitated by lusty desires upon seeing a woman, those desires increase more and more. But when semen is discharged in the act of sex, the lusty desires diminish. The same principle acted upon Lord Shiva. He was allured by the beautiful woman Mahini Murti, but when his semen had been fully discharged, he came to his senses and realized how he had been victimized as soon as he saw the woman in the forest. If one is trained to protect his semen by observant celibacy, naturally he is not attracted by the beauty of a woman. If one can remain a brahmachari, he saves himself so much trouble in material existence. Material existence means enjoying the pleasure of sexual intercourse. Jan Maithuna Grihamedhi Sukham. If one is educated about sex life and is trained to protect his semen, he is saved from the danger of material existence. It's exactly what you said yesterday. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, I'm sure.
It's identical, literally identical. Like how to be
It's the
trained
same.
from the childhood. It is repeating, and the purport is repeating, yeah?
Not exactly, but
Yesterday,
very close.
did you speak about okay
Because it is just, I do not
Maybe.
know what to add, because yesterday he came and he said that it was exactly this, you know. Maybe it should be next verse or not.
You can read
Okay.
next verse, yes, if you think correction, no problem.
So it was covered yesterday, at least according to Jiva Prana, this verse. And yeah, like here Srila Prabhupada, just like one maybe thing, he says that if, like Lord Shiva, from what I understood, he gives an example, like, and he's bewildered not by an ordinary woman, like even though here we see that it says that he saw a woman in the forest, but Mahini Murti is a special form of the Lord, and we know that Lord Shiva cannot be bewildered by his spouse Parvati, who is representing the whole material energy. So Lord Krishna had to manifest a special form to bewilder Lord Shiva. And yet still Srimad Bhagavatam, each story is created so that we get the lesson, the same like with Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, those were Ujjayi and Vijay, which are Vaikuntha, inhabitants. So they normally not belonging to this world, but because they knew the Lord wanted to fight, they came 3 lifetimes as opposite, like as demons, in order to bring him pleasure of fighting. But yes, Lord Shiva is definitely an extraordinary personality, tattva, which is separate, like a special tattva. And here, yet himself, it says that he realized that he was victimized, which means it was done by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By anyone else, it could not be done. Like Arjuna as well, he got bewildered on the battlefield of Kurukshetra by Yoga Maya to be a materialistic devotee and to start to wonder and doubt. That's why Krishna then spoke Bhagavad Gita and cleansed his doubts. So Lord Shiva here similarly is bewildered by Yoga Maya and by Mahini Murti, so the Lord's form itself. But for everyone else who is conditioned, Nitya Badha, it is a lesson, and Srila Prabhupada brings this lesson to us. He explains that Lord Shiva shows that indeed after the point of semen discharge is done, the senses automatically get calm. Those who are in the male's body, they might know, I don't know, but grihastas might know. But the thing is that it is the nature of the senses. It's agitation first. Louder for Gopalanand Prabhu. Agitation first, the senses work like this. They are in contact with sense object. With sense object is obviously here the opposite gender. This is the main the main reason why we are here, because it's Mathunya Bhava, or this opposite gender thing that keeps us entangled here. So the senses, they automatically get agitated. There is no need even to do an effort to to agitate the senses. Only if they are really contaminated, then people go to the already bad perverted ways. But normally, if there is object, then they agitated, and then when it reached the discharge, then they calm. And that's what Srila Prabhupada says. And then a person is more again, I think it has to do with biologically, because it's a machine with hormones in the body as well. After certain dopamine or something, I'm sure Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj would know, but there are like brain departments responsible for producing this or this hormone. And so brain, we know, is the office of the mind, and so it's just like a headquarter, and it operates the mind. So the mind is indeed the most strong sense, and every enjoyment happens in the mind. So yes, therefore it's subtle, but then it's on the gross level. There are just some kind of gross reaction in a way, and then the senses calm. And so Srila Prabhupada says that this is material existence because we are very concentrated on the body, and this intercourse is the strongest engagement of all the senses. It's like all the senses, eyes, smell, touch, especially because skin is the biggest organ also, you know. So it's all engaged, and therefore all consciousness goes into this, you know. And then you obviously very difficult to remember that you are not this body, and if all the senses are so much entangled, you know. It's so you have to be really on the good spiritual level. And so Srila Prabhupada says that if one wants to save himself from dealing with all this, then he might just remain brahmachari, meaning that that will save the whole trouble of energy, time, controlling the senses and things like this. Now, of course, in the Krishna conscious movement, Srila Prabhupada gave us the gradual path, because not everybody is able to be brahmachari, but the goal is definitely didn't change. So the golden standard of eventually becoming like celibate is there. So it's not compromised because the idea is that it will be difficult otherwise to have inner life for if we at certain stage of life do not detach, in a way, do not dedicate time already for inner life. But in a certain period of time it's okay to enter into household life, but it has to be regulated. And so the idea is what Srila Prabhupada gave us is that brahmachari should remain brahmachari within ashram of grihastha, but they can engage the genitals. It's in Rupa Goswami's book, Nectar of Instruction. So Srila Prabhupada in purport explains how to control this or this urge, like Vachavegam, Manasakrodha Vegam. And so genitals are controlled by begetting or doing everything to invite a Krishna conscious children. It means it will be yagya from the beginning to the end. Starting from the point that you have sense objects, you know, your wife represents your sexual object and husband as well, but you try to support each other and remind each other the goal. And so then you have to undergo this austerity together, and then being pregnant is another fun. 9 months, then giving birth for and then another couple of years will go fun, another fun. And then the child is a king till he's 5 years old, and so he is supposed to be servant, and then he is supposed to be becoming servant and then a friend. But that's the Vedic approach. And so Srila Prabhupada says if you want to avoid all of that, that is possible, then just remain brahmachari. It will be like more simple but more difficult, like this. When someone is celibate or a sannyasa, it's my spiritual master says that it is more simple, like it's not difficult, like, but more difficult. Simple in a way that it's not complex life, because grihastha means that you will have a whole complex structure to worry about. So it's simple, but it's more difficult because when you are in grihastha ashram, you are still protected by wife, and it's not that dangerous to fall, because we know that if it's a celibate is taken too early or unprepared, it can lead to fall down, to shoot. But then Krishna says nothing is lost. So everyone can try how they can to a certain point, and when they feel that they need to change ashram, they need to be honest with themselves and consult the elder ones. Okay. Sorry, it was into the begetting children, though here it was more over So the next verse. Do I do Sanskrit again?
Yes, Sanskrit and translation, just one time.
Athavagata Mahatmya Atmano Jagat Atmana Aparijnena Viryasa Namena Tadu Hadbhutam. Translation. Thus Lord Shiva could understand his position and that of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has unlimited potencies. Having reached this understanding, he was not at all surprised by the wonderful way Lord Vishnu had acted upon him. Purport of Srila Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is known as all-powerful because no one can excel him in any activity. In Bhagavad Gita 7.7, the Lord says, Mata para taram nanyat kinchit asti nanjaya. O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. No one can equal the Lord or be greater than him, for he is the master of everyone. As stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi, Ekale Ishvara Krishna Ara Sabha Britya. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the only master of everyone, including even Lord Shiva. What to speak of others? Lord Shiva was already aware of the supreme power of Lord Vishnu, but when he was actually put into bewilderment, he felt proud to have such an exalted master. Wow. So, once again, thus Lord Shiva could understand his position and that of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has unlimited potencies. Having reached this understanding, he was not at all surprised by the wonderful way Lord Vishnu had acted upon him. Yes, this is a verse that inspires me more, let's say, because it says how beautiful is the relationship between Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu, because we are on a human platform. For us it's inconceivable to understand neither position of Lord Shiva nor Lord Vishnu. So, but when we read Srimad Bhagavatam, we see how Lord Shiva is happy, like he is literally proud, even says about that it's his master. Because when you have a loving relationship with your master, you are happy that he is all powerful, because he loves you, he protects you, he will love you. In Chaitanya Charitamrita it says that Prahlada Maharaj, he says to Narasimhadev, when Narasimhadev wants to test him and asks what does he want, Prahlada Maharaj says, but why you are saying this? If it's a real Lord, he will give protection even if the servant for some time cannot serve, and if it's a real servant, then he will serve even if there is no payment. So the real authentic relationship is in this beauty of selflessness, you know. No, it's not like all we know now in Kali Yuga is that you are getting paid and then you do, and here it says that no. The beautiful one, why we want to become servant of the Lord, because here the idea of servant is contaminated. It means that you are humiliated, it means that you are dominated, and that you are weak in a way. But with the Lord it's not the same. It's everything he does is out of love, and so and he doesn't stop loving. Because it's not in his nature not to love. He cannot not love. So whenever it's like having, for example, a father, and you love your father, and if you see how your father is respected and loved by others, and he can do so many things, you feel nice relation that this is my father. He can do anything. He can fix a car, he can, I don't know, ride a boat, whatever my father can do. It's like a big nice pride of the child that he takes in it. And so Lord Shiva here, he's happy that he was bewildered. There are so many cases when disciples of Srila Prabhupada or people who have met him and were defeated by him in an argument were experiencing literal joy, like genuine happiness, that they were defeated, but they were happy they were defeated by Srila Prabhupada in his debate. They were so happy. That is the feature of the spiritual. It's a sign of spiritual relationship. It's not material. It's not exploitation. It means that whenever you are feeling that you were defeated by someone who is greater, you are happy. It's a very strange or not natural for material world. Yeah, but with time, when we chant Hare Krishna mantra, when we read Srimad Bhagavatam, we have a chance to more and more have the good examples like that, the spiritual examples, and we have a chance to want the same. This is all about getting the taste to want to do the same, to serve the Lord in such a relationship. And Lord Shiva, he says that he was aware about Lord Vishnu, that he is Lord Vishnu, but sometimes we need experience, and Lord gives us situation when we can really experience that he is almighty, and we can really sincerely wonder and do like wow effect, you know. And like this, there were a lot of stories with devotees of the Lord who wanted to see his potencies. Maybe you remember Markandeya Rishi story, when also he wanted to see the potencies, and he asked the Lord, can you show me your bewildered potencies? And so he found himself in the pralaya, in the destruction ocean. So there is a whole destruction of universe going on. This is a good like effect, specific effects, you know. And then he sees this island, and on the island there is this little baby. Baby is having his finger like in the mouth, and he's like, what is this? Because by that time he forgot that when was started the destruction, he hasn't seen anything but water for so long, you know. And all of that was just because he wanted to see the potencies of the Lord. That was a humble request, and the Lord smiled, and then it all happened, you know. And like this, many stories. Someone else got married, no? I don't remember. What was the story that he said, can you show me your Maya? The devotee asked, and Lord said, okay, but first bring me a glass of water. Was it Narada Muni? Like the devotee said, oh, my dear Lord, can you show me how your Maya works? And he says, I will show you, but can you bring me the glass of water first to drink? And he went to the well, and there was a lady who needed to take the bucket from the well, and it was heavy. So Narada Muni, let's say it was Narada Muni, but I will have to check if it's Narada Muni. He had to help. Because normally a gentleman would help, but then he carried it to her home. Then they got married, and then he forgot, and then he realized that he actually needed to bring water, and then he realized that everything he lived the whole life, he forgot for the whole life, you know. And then he finally brought, and Lord said, oh, but I waited so long. Where have you been? So Lord has all potencies in his disposal in order to that are ready to serve him in a perfect way. So he has no problem to bewilder or to show a potency. Considering if a devotee wants. And so here I make a conclusion that Lord Shiva, he was happy when it happened, and also I think he wanted to see the Lord's potency, and so to show us as well. I think it's but devotee, when he asks for this, he might not know how it will be. Most likely he will not know what will be the lila of the Lord, how he will show him, and it's always surprise. But because there is trust in the relationship between devotee and the Lord, there is this trust that allows him to ask for this test, let's say, just to see, because he is not afraid. Here, for example, I remember it's a lot of fear first because there is no trust yet established, because you are afraid. What if the Lord will send me something very difficult, like troubles, only troubles, and I will only suffer, But Lord he doesn't want you just to suffer. If he sends something, it's in order to learn something. But it takes time to understand this, that there is a reason behind his lessons. And only when we read these different devotees' cases, let's say, we will more and more have trust that the Lord is never doing anything just mean, to be like cruel or something. No, he does everything out of love. Even demons enter into him sometimes with no apparent reason, with no earning it, So he liberated everyone in Kurukshetra. So here, obviously, the point was not to humiliate Lord Shiva, because Lord Shiva was running after Mahini Murti in front of sages, in front of all Svargaloka, all the great sages. It's a little bit humiliating that you are agitated sexually, to run imagine to run after the lady in front of your I don't know, those who pray for you, let's say, because there are sages who meditate also on Lord Shiva. It might be a little bit uncomfortable, you are kind of boss, and you have people who are under you, and you are exposed, let's say. It's not very pleasant, but because it's the Lord, because it's Mahini Murti, it's not an ordinary lady, he is feeling happy. If it wasn't the Lord, no way he would feel proud or happy of that. Normally, you would be ashamed in front of the younger ones, The ahankara will suffer, but Lord Shiva doesn't have a human ahankara. he is representing the principle of ahankara, but he is not having our problems, so he is happy that there was a bewilderment by the Lord himself personally. So that's all I have. I'm sorry for speaking maybe chaotically. Do you have anything to share?
Thank you very much for the class. Just at one point you mentioned that when there is a wonderful relationship between some master and some disciple, the disciple likes to be defeated. It reminded me of Srila Prabhupada when he was arguing when he first met his spiritual master. His spiritual master told him, "You're just an educated young man. Why don't you go and preach in the English-speaking country?" And Prabhupada felt he had to say something, to give some argument. And he said that, who will listen to us? Actually, we're a dependent country. We are ruled by the British Empire. Who will listen? Then Srila Bhaktisiddhanta told him, Krishna consciousness is so important. It cannot wait for any geopolitical situation to become perfect. It will never be. And Prabhupada said, I was convinced. And he said exactly, he confirmed what you just said, he said, and I was so happy to be defeated.
Beautiful, thank you. This is beautiful. It's true, I spoke about disciples of Srila Prabhupada, and Mandakini Mataji wrote a beautiful story from Srila Prabhupada being disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj, and indeed this resembles, because it's true, when it's a genuine relationship, spiritual, there is no pride. I mean, it maybe in our case there is still, but Gurudev loves us so much that to him we are happy that he wins, you know. At least we have to have one person in our life to whom we are happy to lose. And this is like Krishna, and spiritual master is represented Krishna, because love is stronger than justice. So thank you so much, beautiful story. It's true. It's so nice story. Anything you want to share with us?
I remember this also, this pastime of Prabhupada.
Do you remember this pastime?
Yes, when we shared about even Prabhupada, some people used to come for taking interviews, like a feminist woman who came, and Prabhupada said against women so much, and she was laughing and she was happy in front of Prabhupada, you know. And Prabhupada was doing jokes also that even women are less intelligent than men, and she was so feminist, but she was like defeated, but she was happy. Somehow or other, she was very happy in front of Prabhupada. Prabhupada was saying their brain is a little lesser, and he was happy. Yeah, yeah. So, but she was very happy because she knew that this person is on the spiritual platform. He is not just diminishing the woman and all like that. So I remembered this, that even those people who were completely against, they were very happy being defeated by Srila Prabhupada. Yes.
Actually, it was already a Yamuna Devi.
Okay.
And Srila Prabhupada was teasing her.
Oh, micro dieting. I think she was doing dieting. I think no. She was on a diet to only eat very vegan or something. No,
maybe
I don't know.
Somebody else.
Okay, maybe. Yeah.
When that happened with Yamuna, he asked. He mentioned that example that some English scientists said that the brain of ladies are very small, and then he looked at Yamuna. He says, "Isn't it true, Yamuna?" and as you said, Yamuna was very intelligent, very bright. Even Srila Prabhupada wanted her to be a GBC, you know. So she said, "Yes, Srila Prabhupada, peacefully." And Prabhupada was laughing and joking, and he told her, "But this is not for the ladies, our lady devotees. That doesn't apply to them."
Nice story. I didn't know the story about Yamuna, and that her father was a little bit teasing her. Beautiful story, thank you. And thank you. Yes, journalist as well, feminist journalist. Yeah, there is the
It is a video recording also.
Yes.
You know, she was sitting in a miniskirt and
she was okay.
and she was laughing also, and Prabhupada is laughing. Yeah.
Because Prabhupada could be so charming.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not for everyone. Let's say we have to be careful. Like I speak for myself when we address others, because we have to respect the false ego of another. But it's just Srila Prabhupada never targeted the person. He never saw a bad person. He just saw that there is misconceptions and behaviors that are not good for these people. It's like when you see that your child is eating fifth ice cream, you say something, because if you say it's all okay, I love my child, but here you are harming him, then you know. So Srila Prabhupada never compromised, because he had to fight the Mayavada and Voidism and he had to also sometimes explain that the system is cheating you. Like in the case of feminist ladies, he was just repeatedly explaining that men take advantage. In this very interview, he was saying that what is good, that freedom, and says that you will get, for example, with child, a man, because you were never married and never protected, he will leave, and then he will ask government for aid. That's what he was saying. Is it good to beg? He said government. He was very strict, because it's like a father who would want the daughter to be protected, and this is out of different thing. It's not to fight or you should be suppressed. It's that they should be protected. Not because the Lord created the system. So if you try to invent your own thing, it never ends up good. Never. Right? It's like they try to create so many artificial, I don't know, vitamins and things like this, because they spoil the real process by now, you know, and so on and so forth. I will not want to spoil the the mood for the rest of the day. But yeah, so that's it. What we were saying before is that when it comes to the Lord and His representatives, it's the relationship of love. So it's never humiliation, because love cannot tolerate when someone is having feeling, I'm better and you are worse. It's already canceling love in a way. Like it's not possible to continue after. So the Lord does say that no one higher than me, no one equals me, but then He says no one is lower than me. And this is very strange. It's Chaitanya Chancharan Prabhu who was mentioning this a lot of time, that he was explained to Uddhava, Lord Krishna, no one is higher than me. That we all agree, it's all clear. No one is equal to me. That we also already by now kind of heard, because even Brahma and Shiva are dependent. But then he says no one is lower than me. And this is like, okay, before it was clear to materialistic brain, so no one is high, no one is equal. So they should be, logically speaking, lower. But he says also no one is lower. And then you start to have a problem because it goes against the material logic, you know? How can it be? Okay, no one is high, no one is equal, no one is lower, then what it is then, you know? But that is spiritual. That is why the brain stops, because the spiritual chintya cannot be explained by material element, which is brain or mind. Because there is love. And so when there is love, yes, we are subordinate, but in love we become the same with the Lord. It's like object of love, and our love makes it beautifully same. No one is thinking that, oh, I'm the lower, I should become better to be equal, I should become better to be equal. It's not like that, so it's nice. I thought Gopalananda Prabhu having a good point. He chants holy name. Anupa, you would like to say something?
No, thank you.
It's okay. Okay.
Yeah. It's so nice.
Thank you. Thank you for tolerating. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana ki jai.
HG Vasumati Manjari Mataji ki
Jai.